my name is DMelendez, and in this presentation for my leadership and emotional intelligence class at San Diego Christian College, I'm going to be diving into a topic that affects us all, and that is managing conflict. So whether it's at home or at work, unfortunately, we all handle conflict. It's something that we all have to deal with. So how we handle it can make a really big difference in keeping our relationships healthy and achieving positive outcomes. So the way we handle conflict or disagreements can sometimes ruin relationships and really ruin respect too if they're not handled properly. So today I will share some practical strategies for managing conflict. And I will also talk about what the Bible says about it and why it's particularly important for those of us who follow Christian teachings. So let's get into some practical tips that can help us handle conflict a little bit better. So first off, staying calm is key. So important because so often when things get heated, emotions can take over and make finding a solution a little bit harder. So things like taking deep breaths, reminding ourselves to stay focused on the problem at hand, and keeping things about the issue rather than attacking others for random reasons can really help keep things on track, as well as keep the problem from becoming way bigger than it needs to be. So active listening is also a really big deal in resolving conflicts, and this is my next strategy. So it's not just about hearing what's being said, but really understanding where the other person is coming from, and this requires a lot of empathy. Giving our full attention, repeating back what we've heard in our own words, or asking questions to clear things up where we don't understand, and also not jumping in too soon can show respect and also make finding common ground a little bit easier. So another strategy is seeking understanding, and this means going deeper than just what's on the surface. Oftentimes the best way to dig deeper is to look for the emotions behind what the other person is saying, because reading in between the lines can be really helpful and beneficial. So it's about seeing things from the other person's perspective, even if we don't understand or agree with what they're saying. And also asking open-ended questions and acknowledging their feelings. Also letting them know that we know where they're coming from can kind of help us pave a way to working things out. So finding common ground is also a strategy. So finding common ground is where the magic happens in conflict resolution. It's about finding things that we can agree on, like shared goals or interests. Because when we focus on what we both want out of a situation and brainstorm different ways to get there, it makes the process of actually arriving there so much easier. It also makes finding a solution that works for everybody a lot easier. And so lastly, compromise is my last strategy. It's about being flexible and willing to give a little bit to reach a solution that everybody can live with. It's about finding what is most important to each of us and being ready to give up some things so that we can meet in the middle. And that makes this finding a solution, we want to find a solution that's fair for everyone involved, and that helps us do that. So now that we've talked about those 5 strategies, I also want to talk about and just take a look at what the Bible says about handling conflict. So in Matthew 5:23 through 24, Jesus talks about making things right with others before we come to worship Him. And this stresses the importance of resolving conflicts quickly. And in Matthew 18:15 through 17, there's guidance on dealing with disagreements within the church community, emphasizing the value of seeking peace and reconciliation. And then my last one, Ephesians 4:31 through 32, says, I'm going to read this one. It says, "Get rid of all bitterness, rage, and anger, brawling and slander, along with every form of malice. Be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other just as Christ forgave you." And so this just encourages us to let go of bitterness and anger and instead focus on forgiveness and building peace. So for us as Christians, managing conflict isn't just about keeping the peace, but it's about showing Christ-like love and forgiveness in how we treat others. And when we handle conflicts with patience and grace and things like that, we are not only strengthening our relationships, but also we're reflecting God's love and bringing unity to the people around us that we're fighting with or our communities and things like that. So to wrap up, learning to manage conflict well is a skill that benefits every single person, no matter our beliefs or the situation. Staying calm, listening well, seeking to understand, finding common ground, and being willing to compromise. These things can help us navigate conflicts in a way that leads to positive outcomes and stronger relationships. So, as we apply these principles in our lives, let's remember the biblical teachings of forgiveness and reconciliation and the pursuit of peace as well. So thank you everybody for listening, and I hope these ideas resonate with you and inspire you to approach all the conflicts in your life with a little bit more thoughtfulness and compassion. Thank you so much.